So let's go down the hallway. Studio A, Jon Hart with our guest this afternoon, Spencer Mackenzie Brown, here on the bridge.
You know, when we do in studios here at the bridge, I spend a little bit of time getting ready, and it's almost like, you know, somebody coming in and warming the crowd up. And then all of a sudden I get done with the research, and then I have to wait. I'm so anxious to hear some music today from Spencer Mackenzie Brown. Thanks for coming in today.
Hey, thank you very much for having me.
So, Folk Mastermind.
I don't know about that, but
that one seems to be sticking on you.
I hope so. I mean, that's cool. That's great.
Yeah. Where'd you get that one?
Are you talking about the quote?
Yeah.
I think it was from an iHeart Local Music Review, probably my first iHeart Local Music Review. So
yeah, it just keeps popping up. So
that's awesome.
Folk Mastermind. You've got an album title at some point.
Now I'm sweating.
Yeah. So you're going to be co-headlining Briarfest a week from tomorrow, Saturday the 21st. And you're going to take the stage at 7 o'clock, but that's a full-day event. There are like 10 bands, Ivory Black, Rachel Mallon, and the Wild Type, the MGDs. The event is free. They are going to have beer tasting and food trucks. But that's just a beautiful place to play. I'm sure you're anxious to get out there.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I'm not completely familiar with the area, but it's always exciting to play in a very beautiful place when you're looking out. It's pretty great.
If people want details, they can find out more at briarfestkc.com. And, of course, there's beer tasting and food trucks, and all of the proceeds benefit the Northland Therapeutic Riding Center. So that's a good deal. So you just got done playing middle of the map, too.
Yeah, it was amazing.
It was a pretty good thing moving downtown.
Yeah, you know, you guys have done some work. Kansas City's growing in a really good way. And for being 6 years old, I'd say it's getting pretty awesome every year, better and better.
So, you know, it's kind of funny, you know, a year and a half, 2-3 years ago, you were like not really on people's radar, and now you're playing all these gigs and doing the festivals.
Yeah, it's a little weird, you know. I mean, I'd say two years ago, I was trying to get a show at the Replay and failing. So I'm very humbled and happy that we get to do these things. It's awesome. And whenever I think back, I'm very, very thankful. So it's great.
Yeah, well, we love having you here today, and we'd love to hear some music if we could.
Yeah, no problem.
Ever feel like the well's dried up and you can't spare a plate for rain? If you poured your drink but it ain't deep enough to drown this whole town away, but you feel that nothing's ever gonna change, why don't you just call me if you need misery needs company? I won't be at your side. Why don't you just call me if you need misery needs company? I won't be at your side. We've all been there a few times. Found yourself in your house and don't feel much like home. If you sat outside on a winter night but drank too much to feel the cold, but you feel that days like this are getting old, why don't you just call me if you need misery needs company? I won't be at your side. Why don't you just call me if you need misery needs company? I won't be at your side. 'Cause we've all been there.
Spencer Mackenzie Brown in the Bridge Studios on a Friday afternoon. This is a treat. That was great.
man.
Yeah, we played that one a few times here on the Bridge.
Yeah, you guys have. I'm very, very incredibly thankful, actually. I didn't even know about it for a while. Chris Hygarian had to tell me that it was being played, so that was awesome.
Yeah. So the, it's funny to me. It seems like around the time that you were 21, it was like I don't know, this is a weird way of phrasing it, but your body told you that you had to do music, right? I mean,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there was just like this moment where it's like, I've got to do something to keep moving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, I guess maybe that's a pivotal point for a lot of people, you know. You kind of hit this age where maybe it's time to grow up a little bit and figure out what you're doing. But there's a lot of stuff going on in my life, so I had to, I guess, just keep doing it. I just left a band and decided can't really stop, you know, so kept going.
So, the chronology, I may not have this quite right, but around 2013, you decided to pick up and move to Austin. And that plan was so well thought out, and it worked out so much to the plan that you stayed 4 days.
You've been talking to people. Yeah. So it was, classic Laurentian move. We're very good boomerangers, and we're also good at leaving. So I just felt the need to get out, and Austin was an amazing city. I tried Nashville for a weekend and went down there for some music, and it just wasn't the same. Austin was really thriving, kind of the way Kansas City is now. It's being compared to that a lot. And I loved it until I moved there. And then it was 100 and some degrees every day, and I was commuting, trying to find a better job and an apartment. And I just decided I couldn't do it. 4 days felt like 2 months, though, to me. So if you commute in 120 degrees for 45 minutes every day, it'll get that way.
So now I may not have this part of the story right, but I got the feeling that like you were at a rest stop calling friends, like, where do I go? What do I do?
Yeah, I did. I called about everyone I knew really closely, and I said, here's what I can do. I can go to the East Coast and live with my mom, or I can go to the West Coast and live back where I'd gone to high school for a little bit, and everyone said, go live with your mom. Going back to Lawrence wasn't really an option. I quit my job. I said bye to everybody, and after 4 days, I couldn't really come back with my tail between my legs. I couldn't give that much up. So my brother was the only person that said yes, and so I took that as being a sure thing, which you'd think like 30 people no, one person yes is a bad thing, but then I hit the road, and I played my music about as loud as you could to just drown out the phone calls. But then I sent a picture of the ocean to about 3 of my friends once I got there. And
saying, I ignored you completely.
Yeah, basically. It felt really good, though, I got to tell you. I don't encourage that recklessness, but it felt great, that whole, 1,000-mile drive or whatever. It was awesome.
You used Ben Howard as your soundtrack for some of that.
I did. Like the whole drive there, which was awesome. So you're good at digging. This is great.
Yeah. It seems like, it's always funny to to do research, and here comes like a picture and it completely unexplained. I'm sure your friends know, right? But if you're just like a stranger on Facebook, it's sort of like, well, here I am in Slovenia.
Yeah.
And it's like, so what was that?
That's a tough story to explain. Basically, Allie, who's also in my band, decided she was going to do something similar to my California trip and quit everything and go to Europe for a couple of months and then hike the Appalachian Trail at the same time. So naturally, I couldn't really say no to that opportunity to go and join her. And so I hesitated for like a whole month, and then I clicked yes on the plane ticket and landed in Croatia, ended up in Slovenia with some absolutely wonderful people who were willing to do anything in the world for us and take us up to the top of a mountain overlooking the world and let us play some music in their house and feed us amazing food. And yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty bad at saying no to trips, essentially.
I could have left the Slovenia story by the side of the road, But when you said that you got over there and didn't have a capo and used a chip clip, I had to get in, I had to bring up Slovenia so I could find out how in the world you use a chip clip as a capo.
Desperate times, man. I mean, that was that was my favorite part, was that family. They were just so kind. And maybe Slovenians in general, they're so loving. And that man was willing to sit there with a clip chip on my guitar so he could play through one song for him. Just like they just wanted to hear music. They love music.
So it required human intervention.
Oh, it was me and a whole nother. I mean, this was a band at this point. I'm trying to get him back here so we can keep him on call, but it hasn't happened yet. Yeah, it was incredible. I loved it.
So you can play songs in tune and your snacks stay fresh.
Yeah.
It's like it's a double thing.
Yeah, that's what we're really trying to do in this band, is be multifaceted and cover all grounds. Spencer
Mackenzie Brown is in the studio. You can find out more at spencermackenzieBrown.com. And he's co-headlining over at Briarfest a week from tomorrow night. 7 o'clock is when he'll take the stage. The full festival gets started at 11 o'clock in the morning with 10 total bands. We'd love to hear another music.
Yeah, we'll do.
More music.
Standing on the coast wasn't good enough for me. Saw you in a corner and it changed the way I see you. Told myself you were all I need. Oh, how the words pour from the guilty. I will try my best to change. Enough is enough, I miss your ways. Tell me it ain't so. Oh, I lost all control. Oh, you let me down far too many times. I've been holding out, but I can't change the lies. Won't you tell me that you'll end all the regrets? Oh, believe me, I'll end all the regrets. Burned out the house that we built from the ground. Ended it all the same as we found. Poison on our lips, but we kiss just the same. Spitting on the flame only numbs the pain. I feel you struck me in my heel. Tell me it ain't so. Oh, I never had control. Oh, you let me down far too many times. I've been holding out, but I can't change the lies. Won't you tell me that you'll end all the regrets? Oh, believe me, I'll end all the regrets for you. I'm the poison on the bitter end of an arrow. I'll go straight to your heart, but I'll hurt you in the end. Oh, I'll hurt you in the end. You let me down far too many times. I've been holding out, but I can't change the lies. Won't you tell me she'll end all the regrets? Oh, believe me, I'll end all the regrets. Won't you tell me she'll end all the regrets? Believe me, I'll end all the regrets.
Spencer Mackenzie Brown in our studios today. And again, SpencerMackenzieBrown.com, folk mastermind. And he'll be out at Briarfest coming up a week from tomorrow. We'll talk more about that in just a little bit. I think that we're all guilty of like shortcutting stories. And you're not you're not lying to anybody. But if you just go to a certain point in the story, it's on so much more dramatic. Like,
Yeah.
like you just decided at the age of 21 that it's music, as if you haven't. You did have that moment, but the truth is you were in bands. In fact, the band that you've got right now, some of these folks you've been playing with for almost a decade.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're kind of they're essentially family. They're my best friends, but we definitely get into it too. So I think family is when you cross that line.
So hearing your music, I think that the ironic thing for me is that at any point in your life, you were in a punk rock cover band.
Yeah, that surprises a lot of people, I think. But, I'm not chained to the acoustic guitar like many might think. So I enjoy the rock. I mean, I grew up listening to Hendrix as much as I could. So it comes out of me somewhere.
So you've been playing music, but you were in Lawrence and you weren't really necessarily doing a whole lot with it. And that's kind of where you had that moment. But somewhere along the way you were playing, and some of the guys from Hembry started to notice you.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny how that all works. It's part luck in, I'd say, almost any industry, but part who you know, and part all the hard work you do in your room that nobody notices or sees ever. But I was fortunate. I got the opportunity, and I'll always be grateful, from Fally from My Heart Local Music. On a whim, she just decided to ask me to come play an acoustic section down at the Mid-Coast Takeover at South by Southwest, which for anybody out there is kind of where Kansas City goes to have a good time, at South by Southwest. And she got to hear a little bit and enjoyed it, posted something, and Isaac Flynn from Hembry, who I've known since junior high, decided to ask me what I was doing. Where are you recording? What are you doing? And I had no idea. I mean, I was like, I don't know, man. I got 4 songs, and I made up a 5th one like on the way here so I could play this show, essentially. So you tell me what I'm doing. And he's
The
like,
Ramones cover was not going to work there, right?
Yeah, I think the Ramones rolled over. Well, we won't get into that, but yeah. So luckily, those guys are very talented engineers also, and kind of took me under their wing. And I mean, still to this day, I'm learning from them constantly because they're such determined people. They've been doing this for a long time, and they've just kind of brought me in. They allowed me to record with them and produce with them, and really helped me blossom, I guess, in a way.
You did some house parties, like, when you couldn't get gigs, just invite people to come over to the house, and other bands that couldn't get gigs, come on over to the house. And
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Like, whenever you're sitting in your room and you can't get a show, I guess I just decided, like, I can either complain about it and never play a show, or I can force all of my friends to come over and trick them into thinking it's their show. But really, I'm going to play a few songs at the end and see if I'm any good. And that was a really good move. I mean, not only was it good community and a good spot for other people who were trying to do that, but it really helped me boost my own confidence and also get to wherever I am now.
So, you've taken those, house parties at your house.
Yeah. Apartment. We'll go with that. Yeah.
Yeah. And you've turned that into, South by Southwest and middle of the map and Boulevardia, and being on the same stage with Leon Bridges and Houndmouth and Augustana and the Delta Saints.
Yeah.
And all in the last, 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Kind of great.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little surreal. I mean, 16-year-old me would be like freaking out over in this corner right now, but
16-year-old me still lives up there, right? I mean,
he does. He has little moments of celebration where he's allowed out, but you gotta. I don't know. I guess I'm a weird person. Maybe I'm always like keeping that happiness away or tucked in, but you got to focus on kind of your goals and where you're going next. Even if you're on the same stage as Leon Bridges, it doesn't mean you're on the same level by any means. And so I have to remind myself while I'm sitting chatting with him in a hallway that actually he's with Capitol Records and he's going all around the world, and I'm going to go home tonight. But so there's work to be done, but definitely amazing. I mean, it's awesome.
I encourage people to search for your videos on YouTube. You did a stellar acting job in one of them where you played yourself dead.
Yes.
You're dead for the entire video.
Well, yeah, but I mean, have you seen the movie?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so yeah. I'm a movie buff also. I love films of all sorts. I wanted to go to film school originally, and who knows, maybe someday. So Weekend at Bernie's is one of those classics I don't think anybody appreciates as much as I do. So we decided to recreate that.
So you are dead.
Yep.
I've watched Weekend at Bernie's, and I think that you took liberties at the end with the voodoo priest reanimating the corpse. I could be. Did I miss that part? Did I go to sleep during the movie?
I didn't write the script, so I'll pull that move on you.
Yeah.
I was just an actor that day.
Yeah, it was quite lovely. Also, there's a new video just posted in the last week or so that's got some really beautiful footage from the mountains.
Yeah. That was a collaboration with a company I met 2 years ago whenever I was just doing this by myself again. I got the opportunity to go out to Seattle, and this girl was at one of my shows and just approached me about filming a video, and it was an amazing video, and we've been working together ever since. And she put that together, and it's absolutely beautiful. I mean, for me, I'm a person who loves to travel and can't always do that, so that video has kind of become my escape. No, I don't just listen to myself all day, but it's like a little bit of travel if you're just stuck at a desk. So I like to think that it serves dual purposes for a couple of people out there, maybe.
Spencer Mackenzie Brown is our guest this afternoon on the bridge, and he's going to be headed out to Briarfest. We'll talk more about that in just a moment, but I'd sure love to get some more music.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
How can I convince you it's me I don't like? And I'd be so indifferent to the look in your eyes. I've always been distant, and I've always told lies for love. I'm bound by these choices so hard to make, bound by these feelings so easy to fake. None of this is real enough to take me from you. And I got a reservation about so many things, but not about you. Got a reservations about so many things, but not about you. Not about you. Isn't what you were wanting me to say. How can I get closer and be further away? The truth, it proves it's beautiful to lie. And I got a reservations about so many things, not about you. And her got a reservation about so many things, but not about you. Not about you. Oh, about you. About you, about you.
Spencer Mackenzie Brown giving us live music on a Friday afternoon. This is great. Thanks so
for having
much.
me.
SpencerMackenzieBrown.com is the website. He's co-headlining BriarFest a week from tomorrow. He's going to take the stage at 7, but the festival starts at 11 o'clock in the morning. It's a full day with some of our very favorite bands. Ivory Black, Rachel Mallon and the Wild Types, MGDs, 10 bands total. It's a free event. They do offer beer tasting and food trucks. You can find out more information at BriarFestKC.com. And one of the things that's really unique about this festival is that it is creating opportunities for you to meet the bands, and you can find out all about the meet and greets at that website, again, BriarFestKC.com. And it's all in the name of a really great cause. The proceeds benefit Northland Therapeutic Riding Center. And you're going to have some music at the merch table and whatever else you can scrape together.
Yeah.
Full band?
Full band. Not just me this time.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, it's great having you in here doing the solo acoustic
This
thing
is awesome.
today.
You guys are doing really great things here.
I appreciate it, and likewise. Really looking forward to the show a week from tomorrow.
Thank you.
Out at BriarFest. Spencer Mackenzie Brown live on the bridge.